So this is going to be my story about eating non-processed food for I believe it was like nearly 2 months actually, but I'll probably title this a month just not to be clickbait. So let's call it a month and a half, probably 2 months. I think it was nearer 2 months, and I didn't eat any processed food. Now, what did I classify as processed food? So I had some tests and I had this quite high inflammation level, and that is sometimes associated with people who have gluten intolerances and can't process gluten. Now, I don't think I am gluten intolerant, but I had a really interesting experience. So I found when I was on this now, no, sorry. What I classify as non-processed is anything that is not natural. So, for example, I would eat fruit, veg, meat, and then I think peanuts. You could argue maybe peanuts are processed, part processed, but I kind of took them as natural. So anything you can kind of just find and eat in the wild, that's kind of what I went for. So it's quite limited. So I only ate fruit, veg, meat, and then yeah, nuts, variety of nuts for like 30 to 60 days, whatever the time period was. And it was really interesting. And I started off it's weird. I started off feeling like less angry, less brain fog, less anxiety. I felt happier. I felt friendlier to people. I noticed more people like talking to me. I kind of like got more done in my life in some sense. Like I had much better luck with women, attracting women. Like it was nice. Like I was friendlier. Normally I'm a lot more grumpy and antisocial. So it made me a lot friendlier, but it was really difficult because it wasn't sustainable. I got very skinny. I went down to like 13 and a half stone, which doesn't still sounds like a lot, but I was very slim. Like for example, recently I went up to like 16 stone, but for me at 13 and a half, that's kind of the bottom end. And I was very skinny and I was struggling and I wasn't satiated. So and I felt like I needed the carbs too. So I was eating like a lot of bananas and potatoes and it was just it wasn't enough calories for me. No, I mean I probably could have tried to eat more meat to stay more satiated, but my body just doesn't adapt well, and I think it doesn't, like going into ketosis or low calorie diets. It just struggles a lot, and that's probably because I've been eating processed foods my whole life. So yeah, I would say I slowly lost weight, but I lost muscle as well, just because I didn't have the calories to maintain any muscle mass. Yeah, I got very skinny and I got very lightheaded. I had trouble driving. My body just wasn't getting enough carbs and calories, and because I was still eating carbs, but I wasn't letting so my body wouldn't go into ketosis, but I wasn't getting enough to just live off carbs. So it was, yeah, it was unsuccessful. It didn't really work. I've always been a bit of a bread fiend, so when I broke it, I think, yeah, I broke it having a McDonald's actually. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling strong. I felt less confident at the end. So it started off really well, and I think ultimately the lack of calories just really brought me down. So that's not overly exciting, but that's kind of what happened when I tried that diet.